Welcome back, it's me, Lou. Okay, so today's going to be a special video as I finally have all the pieces to assemble the build-up figure for one of the latest Marvel Legends line under the X-Men sub-label. And today we're going to put together Bonebreaker, the popular Reaver villain from the X-Men comic books. So real quick, let's highlight the different pieces here and where they came from. So the head and the assault rifle come with action figure Maggot right here. The torso, the arms, and I believe, what is it? I think the gun. No, not the gun. The hands, I believe, come with Vulcan. The two fuel canisters over here come with Havoc. And one of the tank pieces come with Siren, and the other tank piece comes with Darwin. There's also, I can't remember, I think it might be Vulcan. It might be Vulcan. I believe he's the figure that features the extra pair of hands. So if you don't want him to have the trigger fingers, I think Vulcan has the extra set of hands. And as you can see here, the collar piece kind of falls off, so just keep an eye out on that. You don't want to lose that. So we're going to assemble the figure. One thing I noticed that's really cool too is that with Bonebreaker, here's his head. If you want to give him the look with his sunglasses on his forehead, you just easily prop him up like that. It's really cool. The glasses are pegged into the temples of his head, so you can either have them down or you could prop them up, like how he sometimes appeared in the comic book. Alright, so let's try to assemble this. We're going to start off with the upper half. We're going to pop the head onto the neck. Pretty self-explanatory. It's a nice, snug fit. Didn't have to work too hard to get it in. He almost kind of looks like, the face almost kind of resembles Dustin from Stranger Things. I don't know, with his mouth. Up next we have his lower torso. I believe the red, this is the front of the torso. And then there's the socket, the peg on the body, and I think you just plug it in. I believe this is one of those deals where once it's plugged in, it's permanent, I think. And let's try to get it. Wow, it's tight. It doesn't want to plug in. I hope I'm not doing this wrong. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, I got it in. You can kind of hear it. It's a nice, tight, snug fit. You can kind of hear it like ratchet as you move it around. Alright, so now we're going to assemble the body of the tank. Whoa, almost lost the fuel canisters. I believe this should be pretty self-explanatory. There's the two halves. As you see, you're going to marry them together. The body's going to go here, which, you know, it's pretty simple. And then this here with the exhaust or blower, I think this plugs in the back like this. I think. Is there only one way this will go in? Now let me take a look at the box. Okay. So you want to have the exhaust of the blower here facing forward. But there we go. I think that's in. Alright, that's in. There's this piece here. It's kind of like the vent of the back of the tank. So if you look carefully on it, there's these kind of like, come into focus. There's these dimples, 1, 2, in the corners. And you want those facing towards the inside of the tank. So you can take this, prop this here, and have it facing down. the other half, and this is where we're going to marry it together just to make sure everything lines up, especially this pin here to the tab right there, or the socket right there. So just carefully marry the pieces in, don't force it in. Make sure this tabs into that small socket right there, like that. And whoa, this is really awesome. So you have that. Now this is one of those things where, in all honesty, just to be complete in terms of the assembly of the figure, I don't feel it's necessary. Like, let's say that you only found all the figures but Havoc. I think that wouldn't be the end of the world, because Havoc just comes with the fuel canisters, and in all honesty, it looks pretty complete without it. But, if you want to complete the look, here are the fuel canisters. There's a socket, peg. Simply plug them in. I don't think there's a wrong way to do this. And that completes the look. You have Bonebreaker. This is a ridiculous Build-A-Figure. I think it's awesome. It's very unique compared to some of the Build-A-Figures we've gotten in the past. Like, I think one of my favorite Build-A-Figures that we've gotten, I love Sugar Man. I think that is a very standout Build-A-Figure, just because it's very unique. It's not like your standard average humanoid body. I think much like this. This guy's half tank, half man. It's a very iconic character, especially when it comes to the Reavers. When you think of the Reavers, especially those early appearances when the X-Men were in the Outback, like in X-Men like 248 especially, there's that double page spread when the Reavers are standing over the cyborg Wolverine body. These characters, they really left an impression on fans, especially Bonebreaker, with him being half man, half tank. It looks amazing. Here's a profile view, front view, very animated looking face. Love it. Other profile. Here's a back view, and then here's that little vent that can open up. There's storage here, which is cool. You can store the extra hands here. I didn't think of that. That's awesome. So the fuel canisters are removable. Here's the blower. And the figure, it can swivel at the waist. It's a nice tight swivel, kind of ratchets in place. And the top of the figure, it's very standard. It's your very stock Marvel Legends kind of articulation. His head rotates. You can kind of look down. The collar kind of gets in the way, but that's all right. You can look up, arch back pretty far, crunch forward. Now, for the sake of to keep the figure like the articulation and the mobility in place, the leather straps on the bottom don't necessarily attach to anything. That's all right. If it bothers you, just cut the bottom tab off. It's not gonna hinder the look all that much. Really great looking figure. The articulation's very stock. Like I said, the arms rotate, they go out, bicep cut, double pinned elbows, and wrist articulation. So, yeah, I'm in love with this. This is awesome. This is well worth getting all the figures in the wave. I know for some people, figures like Darwin and Vulcan, they're kind of lackluster, and that's to be expected, because I think with a figure like this Build-A-Figure, I think to distribute the cost of the figure, certain figures, they couldn't be like home runs. They kind of had to be like singles. Characters like Vulcan and Darwin and Siren even, they're very bare minimum, because I think a lot of the cost for this wave went into the Build-A-Figure. And I think the Build-A-Figure is awesome. But that's not to take anything away from Darwin, Vulcan, and Siren. If you watch my reviews, I like those figures a lot. I think they're amazing. But this is a great set of figures. I think the entire wave is really well done. The lineup might be questionable to some people, especially if you're unfamiliar with some of these characters, because they're not all top-tier X-Men characters. But for the most part, the Build-A-Figure is worth it, and it's just fantastic. I mean, just look at that. I don't think, Marvel, Hasbro could have done a better job with Bonebreaker. I think this is really a really awesome standout Build-A-Figure. Very awesome, really well worth the price of admission. You know, get it. I can't say anything more than that, just get it. This is incredible. Awesome, awesome Build-A-Figure. So my hat's off to Hasbro. I think they did a fantastic job. Even the little turret here is kind of posable. It's on a ball joint. So yeah, awesome. So let's wrap this video up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.